That ain't working.
Hey, folks, welcome back to the Funny for Nothing podcast. I'm Kevin Tienken. This is Bruce Gray.
Hello, folks. Welcome back.
Hello, folks.
Got our second episode today with our pals Ramsey Badawi and Chris Estrada, of course, the star and creator of Hulu's hit show, This Fool.
It's great.
Which I think during the podcast, the strike was technically going on, and now it just ended. So I think now we're allowed to talk about it, technically.
Yeah, but the actor strike's still going on.
Actor strike. There's great people on both sides.
Yeah. Totally understandable. Get it? Both sides.
I'm not sure.
He's
not. I think he said that he's not allowed to talk about it, but we can.
We can
great
talk
show.
about it.
Season 2 is out now. Check it out.
Chris is fantastic. We did a million shows together, a million mics together, and to see him take off is absolutely insane. So it's cool to have him come back, post season 2 of This Fool, with accolades in pocket.
Plus Ramsey Badawi, known as Random Guy from season 2 of This Fool.
That's right. Yeah, we mentioned
his breakout role as Random Guy.
Ramsey's a great guy. Ramsey's another guy I've done a ton of podcasts with. We've done a ton of time together, stage performances, mostly burlesque.
Yeah. And check out Ramsey has a comedy set out with Don't Tell right now as well. So check him out.
Oh, is that out?
Very, very funny. Very, very funny guy.
I haven't seen it. Is it any good?
No, but I'm trying to help my friend out.
Well,
I'm not one for jokes.
Yeah.
But this is a really good episode. I appreciate you guys being back with us today, helping us out, checking us out. If you could, leave a review, rate, subscribe, all that kind of thing.
We're trying to grow, so help us grow if you enjoy the show. And send us an email to funnyfornothingpod@gmail.com and subscribe to our Instagram, Funny for Nothing on Instagram, all that good stuff. This is on YouTube, or maybe you're listening to it in your ear holes. But yeah, go check it out and subscribe, all that good stuff. Leave comments and say what's up. We're trying to be relevant. We're trying to be funny for something, for some reason.
No, that's what the whole podcast is. We bring people on, we have a good time, we laugh for no reason. It's funny and it's for nothing, and you're here with us right now.
Enjoy.
So I love you. Enjoy the episode. Goodbye.
That's the way to do it.
As a man who's watched a lot of porn in the VR goggles, it's hard to watch porn inconspicuously with those things on.
Yeah. Wait, you have VR goggles and you've watched porn on them?
Oh,
and the porn good?
First of all, I got the
it's
VR
great.
goggles. I bought an Oculus.
Oh my god.
Let me tell you guys right now. I bought it, and then it was in the box. I undid it. I put it on, and I went all right, I have to do something else before porn. I remember consciously thinking that. I was I want to look at porn, but I got to do something else. So I downloaded a thing, and I was like, oh, nice, I'm in fucking Switzerland or whatever. All right, let's do porn.
You reward
Remember
yourself
I
for
told you
not
give
being
that
a
shit away?
creep.
I did.
Yeah,
Yes.
I was. As soon as he told me he got it, I was like, why do you have a VR? Give it away. You don't need it.
But let me just get back to it. I definitely had myself honking.
Oh my god.
Can you see your own hands?
Yeah. It's funny because I bet they already sell it now, but it's basically going to be like a VR CPR dummy where you have a full thing.
Dude,
and you're like,
it exists.
It exists. It's just there is literally. Oh, feel free. Grab this knee. I like it. There's literally, you can get a VR basically suck machine.
Yeah.
Oh my
God.
A thing that you can put over your dick that will correlate with the video that you're watching.
Yeah.
And we're going through some patent stuff right now.
you're testing the product.
Yeah. And I'm like, fuck. I'm in my bedroom just screaming.
It doesn't
feel authentic.
It's hooked up to Alexa also, so you're like, Alexa, suck on.
Yeah. 62 degrees.
Oh Jesus! That shit hurt. It was really trying to hook up just now. Damn, I had that shit unplugged for 6 months because I kept forgetting to set it up, and so now every time it goes off, I get scared.
Has anybody ever done a bit, a stand-up bit, in a special where they said Alexa or something to get everybody's things to turn on? Has that been done yet?
No, I think that's your calling.
I like
Everybody,
that.
TM. That's me saying trademark.
Let's cut that out. What time is it? Okay, let's cut that out to the Ramsey. So wait,
real quick. We got to intro the podcast.
Oh,
real quick.
perfect.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the podcast. I'm Kevin Tienken. Across me is Bruce Gray. Our special guests today are the one and only Ramsey Badawi, and of course, this fool, Chris Estrada. Welcome to the pod. I like the loose that we had going before, but I like to ruin it.
Yeah.
You have to.
You're also leaving out Ramsey, dude. Ramsey, also known as Random Guy.
Random
guy?
Random Guy
From
from
this
this
fool.
fool, dude. That was Ramsey.
Oh!
Ramsey's breakout role as Random Guy.
Yeah.
Dude, fuck yeah.
The part I was born to play.
Yeah, random guy.
I opened for Chris recently, and I sat like there was probably 350 people at the show, and I sat every single time somebody walked by. I went, "Hey, did you see season 2 of this fool?"
And he's like, I'm Random Guy.
And I'd be like, cool. Like I don't which guy? And I'd be like, the
Yeah,
guy.
you walked up to people and said, "You recognize me? I was in the show." One person did though. Remember, this one guy was like, "When you were on stage, I knew it was you."
It was like a movie. He was the last guy I asked.
He's like, hey, dog, I knew you were a Random Guy whenever I saw you guys, dude.
That shit was the most hilarious, pathetic thing I've ever done in my entire life. It was awesome.
Wait, Ramsey, I want to go back into this VR thing because
Please.
it was just
I thought it was ripe territory.
no, I 100% agree. I mean, this is this something you break out on special occasions, or is this like a part of your whole thing?
Here's the truth: is I actually returned it because it was.
That's disgusting, dude. What are you fucking talking about?
It's all jizzed on.
Yeah, that's like returning a condom.
Well, I don't fucking jizz out of my eyes.
I don't
okay?
know, dude. You're jizzing on. That's insane. You returned it because like Chris, you were like, this technology is too
Yeah,
secure.
he just shouldn't have. He told me he was like, after telling me, hey, he watched a lot of porn, he goes, but I'm also boxing on it. He's like telling me about all this porn he's watching. He goes, and then I think he felt the judgment. I was just like, damn, dog, this is pathetic. Oh, no, but I'm also like boxing.
I'm doing exercise. I remember like.
How pathetic is that though to walk in and some guy has like VR goggles and he's like,
I remember.
But then you turn around and you turn back and he's like flipping somebody over and he's like fucking them while they're holding, holding their legs.
You think I'm boxing, but I'm actually doing a weird porn where I'm hitting her.
Yeah, at least you
fast
don't
fisting.
don't mix up the two, dude, because then you're fighting.
I'm like, why is he doing that disrespectful move when boxers hug another boxer?
yeah. He's clinching too much, dude.
clinching too much.
Yeah. You come in there and you're separate.
He's
You're doing the
thrusting on his
separating.
clinch. You know how like boxers do that sometimes?
Dude,
So
that's the
fucking
fucked up
funny.
thing about like the technology and whatnot is because like when I first got my iPad, I was like, I watched porn on it, of course, but then also my kids like want to play Fruit Ninja on it, and it makes you feel weird.
Yeah.
So I literally was like, no
Yeah,
porn on the iPad if the kids are using it because it like I don't know, like it has some sort of sense memory or whatever.
I agree.
It just felt wrong.
I think the
Yeah.
solution is when I inevitably do have kids or I adopt a Chinese kid, which is my ultimate long-term plan. It's like you have a jerk-off VR and then you have a regular
Yeah.
VR.
I think
You have a whole room in your house with different VR. It's like all LED screen walls. It's like nobody come in here.
I think Tienken was concerned that his kids were gonna probably type T and then S.
Anything starting with a P,
Yeah.
it just autofills Pornhub.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I just don't even give a fuck about. I never like fuck with my like internet history or anything. So every now and then on my phone, I'll be like, "Oh, check this out," to somebody else, and I'll be like, "How fucked up would it be if something just crazy just popped up?" And they're like, "What the fuck?"
Dude,
I go no on the phone completely for that reason.
You don't
because
go
of-
on the phone?
I don't do any porn on the phone.
Dude, he has a futuristic fucking machine. Why
You know
would
what
he?
I do sometimes? I try not to do it on the phone, but sometimes you can just Google porn on Twitter.
Yeah.
And then you just see it on
Yeah,
Twitter.
That's not a
on
bad way to
X.
go.
Huh?
That's not a bad way to
Thank
go.
you very
It's
much.
a good loophole.
Yeah,
Dude, I
that's-
hate the fact that every time like I meet a comic or a comic's like, hey, you want to let's follow each other, or whatever, and I hit the search bar on Instagram,
And you see
all
all
the
the
auto
people-
reels that load are like girls in sheer shirts, and then I'm just like, I have every time I go, fuck, this algorithm is really it's targeting.
But isn't
me.
it? This is because we've had this argument before that it fills to your wants and needs.
It knows what I want,
And I think that's great. That's those great Christian needs that you have.
I don't subscribe to any of that shit. I don't like look it up. But when I click on it, because when I'm looking for that, I'm looking for it.
Yeah.
Like I'm typing in specifically like time of day, like everything like specific on the porn search. I don't go to Instagram and stumble upon.
You don't fucking think you're doing it, but what you're doing is you're like taking one extra beat, one
it's
extra
the
beat.
devil,
You're like,
man.
It's
Well,
the
you're
devil,
saying
brother.
if you look at it for just 1 second
Creeping
too
in.
long, it's like, ooh, you
It's
like
boom.
that.
It's
Yeah.
that good,
It knows.
dude.
It fucking
it's
knows.
that good.
How am I not gonna look?
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
Like it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like and it's boobs.
Yeah.
And a
Exactly.
sheer shirt.
Sometimes when we're on the road, I have a joke with Ramsey where I go, hey, how funny would it be if we started watching porn together? Like, it would be funny, huh?
Wouldn't that be crazy? Dude, that'd be crazy, right?
It'd be crazy.
I'm just fucking.
Like, if we just started watching it, dude, like together, wouldn't that be crazy?
You order it in the hotel room.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, dude, come up. I got pizza. Hang out.
And then he's always like, yeah, I don't know how that would be crazy.
I don't really get the joke in that.
Yeah,
I think it would-
I know, but it'd like be funny, dude. Like, we just like sat together and watched it.
Yeah.
Like, wouldn't that be crazy?
The host for the weekend's on the other side of the green room. Like, what the fuck are these guys? These LA dudes are fucking weird. I also just for some reason thought about how funny if you're like, oh, dude, come up to the hotel room. I got pizza and stuff, and you have it set up like a roller rink pizza party with like the tablecloth and like the cups and the 2-liter and the pizza on a silver thing, and then like softcore porn blaring on the TV.
Dude, when I went to my first, like, because in high school I was so religious, like I would never go to parties or anything, and then
What
like,
religion?
JK.
Who said I'd never go to parties? Nobody was inviting you to parties.
No, dude, I was getting invited.
Nah, for sure, Kevin, you could tell was cool in high school. You could tell in
because
Fresno.
I would be in the room for that stuff. I got good at it, but like it was like junior year, like I decided I'll go and I'll be okay. I won't.
Yeah.
Wait, really
you won't
quickly,
drink, you won't smoke. What?
You're a
Yeah,
musician
yeah.
too, right?
Yeah.
So he got all that.
I played
fun.
drums in all the bands. I played in
All
a
right.
hip hop
Yeah.
band. I played in a ska band. I played in a mariachi band in college.
A lot of authenticity. Hip hop.
Yeah, you're trying to say this guy doesn't party, dude. He
Yeah,
played in a
this guy.
mariachi band
Yeah,
in
come
fucking
on,
college.
Dude, I played in so. I mean, it really did open up like my social circle, like an
Yeah.
incredible amount. Like
Yeah.
when I was in the hip hop band, all the guys would call me Kevon Jones because
The ballad of
real
Kevon Jones.
cringy now, but like back in the day, I was like, that's me. I'm
Kevon.
in it.
What up? It's me, Kevon.
Kevon.
I've braided his hair.
Yeah, well, that's how they would announce me or whatever. Like Kevon Jones and the drums.
yeah.
And but
Wait,
yeah,
was your mom like, I'm worried about Kevin. He's calling himself Kevon Jones.
the only time my mom was worried about me was when I was in a ska band.
Yeah, that's a good mom.
That's a good mother.
She had to drop off my stuff in the Dodge Caravan, and
she saw all the horns. And
there were
shit.
guys smoking cigarettes out front, and she was like, "I don't know about this." And I was only in the band for 2 weeks. Like, I
What
couldn't-
happened? You had
The fucking upbeats, dude. When you're a drummer and you're playing,
I thought it's the music. I thought it was like going to be a
That's where
members.
real anger came out.
dude, I hate that. That's the thing I hate about music the most is if you like, unless you're King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, you have to pick a genre.
Yeah.
And like musicians, like as much as you like the genre that you're playing, eventually you're gonna get bored with it.
Sure.
Right? And like, so we'd play in a ska band and it'd be like every song, like, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it'd be like, all right, new song, 1, 2, 3, 4, It's like it's the same shit.
Yeah.
It drove me nuts. And the cigarette smoking was no big deal. But
Yeah.
You were cool after all.
but I went to this party and they had
A ska party?
No. It was the first party that I went to in high school, and it was like in my mind, I was like, I need to steel my soul to the Lord, and like focus and be good, and I'll go. They're not going to influence me. I'm going to influence them. I'm going to make this place better.
Yeah.
And then when I went in, everybody was drinking, and I was like, all right, cool. People are smoking weed. There was like guys, in their underwear getting in the hot tub and chicks running around. And there was fucking hardcore on the TV. They were playing hardcore porn in this high school party, which is the weirdest.
It sounds like
shit ever.
Euphoria, but that is pretty tight.
that is kind of
It's like whenever I have people over, I'll put something on to set the mood. It's definitely not hardcore, but I wish I had the confidence to be like, people are coming over.
One time I was
Throw it on.
working, I used to work as a valet driver for this company, and we would do like private events.
Yeah.
And one time we were doing this party for this like gay real estate fool in West Hollywood, like up in the hills. And it made me laugh because everybody who would bring their cars, it would be like 5 buff ass fools in like a fucking like convertible, and they're all like, hey, and then they like park their cars, and then I had to go use the bathroom, but we had like bow ties and vests and all that shit. I remember I walked into the house to use the bathroom, and they all looked at me and they go, the entertainment's here.
Just a bunch of buff ass dudes. being
Yeah, a
like,
bunch of buff ass gay bear fools. And then but it made me laugh because on the screens they had nothing but like hardcore gay porn.
yeah.
Dude, but
Kills
that,
me.
having gay dudes be attracted to you is a good feeling.
It does feel
It
good.
does
It
feel
feels
pretty
great.
nice.
Anybody attracted to you is a great
Yeah,
feeling.
yeah.
You know what I do
Yeah.
at parties?
Except for
is-
children. That's,
Children
Yeah, that's bad.
I'm
That's
all right
funny.
with that.
Let's get a timestamp in it.
As long as it's not flipping mutually,
Yes.
you
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
kids
yeah.
can love me. That's totally fine.
Immediately go for an MRI to see if I have a brain tumor.
Yeah, but
My YouTube algorithm or analytics says that like basically 4 to 8 year olds love me.
Really?
Yeah.
you're like Blippy.
No, I'm kidding.
You're like what? Like
I love the idea of a 4-year-old being like, I love Saddam Hussein. Like, let me watch this guy say about.
This guy's got great ideas about the world.
it'd be so sick though to be like one of those guys because I have young nieces and gay,
Okay.
pedophile, anything. Like because I have nieces and nephews and like the shit that they watch on YouTube and everything else is just like. It's like people literally like there's this guy Blippy. You guys know
Yeah.
who Blippy
I know
is.
Blippy,
so
yeah.
like he's just a guy who I think was like a normal YouTuber, maybe even like did stand up a little bit, and then was just like, oh, I'm just gonna do like kids content. So now he wears like fucking suspenders and like a pinwheel hat. And he's like waka waka kind of thing, you know, and has like billions and billions and billions of views and like
Yeah.
gets rich off this shit. And like
Oh, he's
there's shit
incredibly
made like
rich, yeah.
made directly for that.
Dude, if we were smart, we would just unbox Legos.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
like those fuckers. If you look up unboxing Legos or unboxing toy videos, every one of the videos is multiple millions. And I mean like 50, 60 million views.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Kids watch YouTube now. That's
Yeah.
like the entire or like
Why?
I watch
don't
YouTube. What have you done
parent.
with my
Yeah, well,
kids?
of course, but-
I only watch YouTube. I don't watch any movies. I don't watch TV. I only watch YouTube.
Yeah, that's what I told him. I watched Oppenheimer, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I might watch that." I was like, "You're not gonna watch it."
yeah,
sits
you
next
just-
to-
I'm actually
He'd only
watching-
watch it if it's in like 17 parts
on YouTube. Yeah, where it's like 1 of 10 on like
Yeah.
Vivo or whatever.
we were just in Dallas, and we flew to Dallas, and this guy was just sitting next to me on the plane while I was just watching police body cam footage the entire time.
It's not even like murder. It's just like working.
I was like, "What are you watching?"
Like, well, they just got this guy for 10 over and
Look how
a
fast he fills out a
55.
ticket. This guy's wild.
No. I don't go that. I love the police body cam stuff, but I love a guy who like has a gun secretly concealed in his car. I like a moment when a guy's life is over. How great is that moment?
Like where he's in trouble or where he's dying?
Where he's in trouble, not
Okay.
dying, but where you're like, damn, that's
I
the
would like to
mistake.
see. He goes, "I like to see the life fade away from his eyes."
Like I like to see the guy when he goes like, it's gonna be 17 years before I get
Yeah,
out.
no, I could see that.
It's a fun time.
I also the videos I like too because there's a guy black dude I can't remember his name but he posts a bunch of videos where he's like a firearm instructor guy but he gets pulled. It's funny that these dudes get pulled over all the time. Like I think they get pulled over on purpose. But then
Yes.
like you know he goes like this and he's like they come to the car and he's like, "Hey there, officer, I'm this and that and I have this and that," and he like lays out his entire speech. So
Yeah.
he's basically like teaching people how to get pulled
Yeah.
over without like
Dude,
while you
people
have
are
your gun.
fucking wild when they get pulled over.
Yeah.
Like some people are insanely stupid.
Yeah.
It blows me away.
I lose all sense of reality when I get pulled over.
Dude,
and I'm
you,
just,
you can't keep your cool when it comes to authority figures.
That's
dude.
not true. I'm a fucking
I've
good
seen-
guy.
Dude, we dialed 911 because some lady.
For the rowdy ass Okie.
oh, dude, no, this is actually is a funny story.
Dude.
I got into an argument with the 911 operator.
He starts screaming at this
Oh,
911
dude,
operator.
that is fuck. Okay, hold on a second, because this is actually related. Because we were coming back from watching Oppenheimer, so
Yeah.
I'm in the fucking zone. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
you're in the
So then
zone.
we come down the street here, and this is a nice enough neighborhood. There's usually not people passed out on the sidewalk, like.
Yeah.
And so there was like at the bottom of these stairs, there was this. You know on Family Guy when someone falls down the stairs and their body's like in a bunch of different directions. So
And
there was a
shit-
person laying at the bottom of these stairs.
There was all their shit was scattered around them too.
And but they had like the backwards leg, like
Yeah,
Peter Griffin,
yeah.
and they were like all. It looked like they fell down the stairs and they were dead.
Yeah.
And so I called the fucking 911, and I was like, "Yo, there's a person." I was like, and they don't look like they're. I was like, they look like hurt or something. I don't know.
Well, you
They're
were
just-
specific. You go, I'm driving home. I just drove by this person, and
Yeah.
they are at
And
the
I said,
bottom of these
I'm on
stairs.
I'm on the north. I said they're on the northwest corner of this street and this
Damn,
street.
you were exact.
Dude, I was exact. And then they were like, "Okay, well, where are they?" They were so fucking rude.
No,
So
Kevin, dude.
condescending.
Oh, you
They go-
piece of shit. You're
No,
you're
I'm on your
flip-flopper.
side.
Oh, okay, sorry.
I'm on your side.
Bootlicker, dog.
Yeah,
That was
dude,
a
yeah,
bootlicker,
for the
homie.
911 operator.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
for the Blue Lives Matter guy.
Yeah, dude.
They do.
This guy respects that earpiece.
Yeah.
No, so you basically gave them all the information you had, and then they started going like, "Are they breathing?" And you're like, we just drove by. I'm not sure. And they're like, is it a man or a woman? Could you describe them? Or like, you're like, we just drove by. That's everything I told you. That's all I have. And they're like, could you go over and try to wake them up? And
Yeah, they
see
said
if
go
they're-"
shake them.
And you're like, no, I'm not going to do that. And they're like, sir.
on,
And you're
you're-
like, what the fuck is this shit? I told
This-
you. And they
This is-
kept going
this-
back.
You're skipping a lot of parts because this person had a bad attitude from the beginning, and I was just Well, first of all, you call, and I swear it's automated. It goes, "Thank you for calling Los Angeles Emergency Department." And I'm like, dude, what if I was getting ass fucked by like a? I don't know,
you're just like, come on.
Yeah, like I was thinking about if it's an actual emergency.
For habla español,
and
push 2.
Yeah,
Dos.
yeah. It goes through like
sorry,
5,
yeah,
and it's like for like it's like for Pesh 2, and you're like Pesh 2. But dude, and then this person finally gets on, and I'm like, hey, this is what's going on, this, that, the other, and then they like just kind of they were like, oh, we. And then they kind of insinuated that I was, because I was like, there's usually not people passed out on the sidewalk in this neighborhood. And then she kind of insinuated that I was like a Karen calling on a homeless person.
Yes.
And I was like, what the fuck? Like, she like kind of insinuated like, oh, so are you saying that they're like a homeless person? Like,
Yeah.
and I was like,
She's like, sir, are you just annoyed because there's a black person in your neighborhood?
dude, they like insinuated in a way, and then she like transferred me to a different guy, and he came in hot already.
Jesus,
and it's like, I understand you got a lot going on, whatever, but it's like,
But I'm literally telling you about a person.
I'm telling you about a person. I'm telling you the exact location.
They're
I'm
like,
telling
what's
you,
your number so we can contact you? And you're like, no.
I don't like that part.
That's
when
I
they,
always
like,
I
give me
always
a number.
refuse because
No.
dude, I'd like to get my fucking money's worth in this life. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So if something's fucked up, I see a little car accident. I see somebody doing something fucked up. I'm not like, if somebody looks fucked up, whatever. I'm calling like, hey, just so you know, this is going on, that, and they're like, what's your number to call back? I'm like, I always say, I want to stay out of it.
Yeah, keep me out.
Dude, that was a good night. We
That was a great night.
We
Not for
saved
the guy-
money on parking because we
that was
we
great.
jumped the curb instead of paying the thing to get out. We watched Oppenheimer
fuck yeah.
at the farmer's market.
Real
and-
quick, I like to imagine that
Yeah.
you love cops and that every time you see them, you ask them for baseball cards.
Yeah, with stats on the back.
Kevin does have
Simple
the
waves at officers.
Kevin, he does have wave it officer vibe.
Doing one of these.
What of that?
Sir.
Sir salutes them.
Yeah.
I just want to come over and say thanks for your service.
He does that.
It's a meter maid.
Yeah, I say it's parking.
The
Yeah, parking
dudes that do
enforcement.
that is they also drive next to truck drivers and they give them
Yeah,
one
you
of
wanna
these.
do-
Oh, I'll do
Yeah.
that. Hell yeah. No, I hate my face. I have cop face.
Yeah.
For sure.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, it's I have cop youth pastor face.
Yeah.
That's why I'm growing my hair out. That's why I smoked so much weed for so many years, is because I just was trying to stave off all those rumors and stuff. I'm like, I'm cool.
But
all
even
right?
then,
Cool.
though, you came off as a cop who like stole weed from some kid.
Yeah,
smoking
you
it.
God damn
smoking
it.
confiscated weed.
Yeah, you were like that Steve Buscemi meme where he has a skateboard. What's up, young kid? My fellow youngsters.
Dude, this is actually sick though. Whenever we go to the Grove, and before there's a bar in the farmers market, like a little outdoor like beer bar that I like to go to. So I was like, we'll go early and we'll do that. And I was like, but we should like walk down there. We should do whatever. And Kevin was, because I was like, parking is expensive. And Kevin was like, nah, dude, it's fine. He's like, we can get it validated. I've done it a million times. And I was like, all right, cool. So we like hang out before the movie, have a drink, like we're talking. Then we go to, he gets to the validated thing, go to the movies, and then we get out of the movies and we go to leave, and he put the thing in and it says like $37.
Yeah.
So Kevin's like, what the fuck? And he's like, whatever, I'll pay.
Well, I beat my card. I beeped the card. It didn't read it. And I was like, fuck this. So I put it in reverse, and I just drove around to see the best spot to bust over one of those
yeah.
parking
Damn, my
things.
man.
It was
In
so
my
sick,
Prius
dude.
C,
My man
too.
hit 4-wheel drive on the
That's
Prius.
so
Dude,
fucking
hell yeah.
sick.
And so we found a spot, and all we had to do was just a little bit run over like a little plant. but because they set that shit up in a perfect way where there's like a rock here and then a thing here. So we had to drive, the parking space block.
Yep.
We had to drive over one of those with like the tires on each side at an angle,
sick.
and then like go. And I'm on the outside, and I'm like a little bit this way, a little bit that way, and then we did it and went over, and we left, and we were like, that felt so fucking.
Did anybody see you guys?
No, there was a guy doing. It was like 2 a.m. by
There was
now.
a guy preaching in front of like,
Yeah.
like it
No,
was
there-
wild in front of the Whole Foods or whatever. over
There was a
there.
guy doing like delivery or something, but no, it was.
Yeah, we
it was
waited.
nice.
Well, we waited a little while for
Yeah.
him to like.
and then we
get
decided
going.
we're like, this guy doesn't give a fuck. He's probably gonna be stoked. He's like a union worker.
Yeah.
guy.
But
He's
we were
fuck
like, you could tell, like I'm not a bad boy.
Yeah.
So like when I do something like that, I was like we were high five, and I was like,
Yeah.
fuck
That
yeah.
fool did one woo.
it. Yeah.
Hell yeah, I was so pumped.
And then we were just capping off a great night on our way back, and that's when we saw that person, and I called the thing, and they were so rude to me.
It'd be
God,
so funny if the
so-
cops didn't come because they were like, we're
Yeah.
actually looking for 2 guys who just broke out of the Grove.
dude, I would run. I would run. I'm not paying for parking. It's insane.
That's the second time I busted out of the Grove like that, because
Really?
years ago, when I was so fucking broke, it was me and Nicole Buchanan. Both of us had like fucking no money. I think that we legit we went to CBS we might have gone to like a taping of The Price is Right, where remember back in the day, like you could like go
For, like,
and,
$40?
Yeah, for like $40 to $50,
Yeah.
you could get paid to sit in the audience. So
Yeah.
we might have been doing that. It's probably like 2017 maybe, and then
I'll still do that gig, by the way.
Hell yeah.
if you can go to The Price is Right's pretty sweet. The funniest thing about The Price is Right one is they give you a fake name and you're not allowed to compete.
You're not allowed to compete.
You're not allowed to compete. I don't even know if you're allowed to be like 2, 3, no, 1. Like I don't even think you're allowed to do
Does
that.
the guy look at you like,
Yeah, he's like cut it out. Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
R.I.P. Bob Barker though.
Yeah. Oh
Who I
yeah.
thought was dead already.
Yeah.
no, that guy's
Nah,
a
dude,
legend, dude.
Yep.
Came back.
The first time I saw that joke, I was like, where people were like, "Oh, he 99, he went as close without going over 100," and I was like, "Damn, that's fucking genius." And I saw it a million times. I was like, "Fuck this
it's
fucking
really not,
bullshit."
no.
But so we went to that, and then Nicole is a fucking dunce, and so she lost the parking card. And so we were just, like freaking out. We were like, God damn, it's gonna be like this where you have to pay like $50 to get your car out. So we were like, fuck. And so I just lied, and I was like, just go up behind a car that's going through the arm. And I was like, and just speed through right after them. I was like, I've done it a million times.
You've never
and
done
then
it before?
I'd never done it before in my entire life. And then we did it, and it worked. And I was laughing so hard because I was like, holy fuck, I can't believe that worked.
That is
I
so-
thought,
it's so
I was
you.
like, worst case scenario, the arm comes down on top, and maybe it dislocates it a little bit,
Yeah.
and then like we're good. But it worked perfectly, and I was like, holy fuck. And she was like, what? I was like, nothing. Nothing. I was like,
That's awesome.
I couldn't fucking believe it. I was so thrilled, dude.
That's dope.
I love getting around shit like that, though, dude.
Yeah, it's
That's like
great.
that's my life. I feel like I
It's
love
the best.
even whenever I am like doing okay.
Same.
I go out of
Yes.
my way to like be like
I steal something every day. I try to. It keeps me young.
What,
they
what
wanna
kind
arrest
of
you
what
now.
kind of stealing are we talking?
Like I mean, look, this is low level.
Because I'm
shit.
also a thief.
This is low level
Loss
shit.
prevention is gonna come after
yeah,
you.
yeah. That's what
Loss
this
prevention guys crack me up.
Oh,
dude. I
they'll
used
fuck
to
you
work
up, dude.
I used to work at JCPenney, and I worked like in this check-in department where I checked in employees' bags and everything, and like
So they don't steal?
yeah, but I wasn't. I was like adjacent to loss prevention, and those fools take that shit seriously.
Yeah.
dude.
Oh yeah.
It's
They-
probably pretty
They cracked
fun.
me up. There was one time somebody was telling me that like this one guy worked at like I think at like Montebello or like a mall in Montebello or at the Citadel or something, and he caught some fools like stealing. And he told them, he goes, take that shit over to East LA. We don't do this in Montebello.
Bellow.
Like he's a
rules.
cowboy? Like he's like a sheriff. He's like, you better get the fuck out of here.
That fool's wide open.
Yeah. That's so
The
funny.
loss prevention guy at T-Mobile, when I worked there for like 10 years, I would figure out scams or whatever, and
Yeah.
I would just notice shit. So like we would do a buy one get one free thing, and I was like, oh, all you have to do is not tell the customer, and then you ring out both.
Yeah.
And you zero it out. Now you got an unaccounted for piece of inventory or whatever. And I go, so I told the guy, I go, hey, so we got to fix this because this isn't going to work
Yeah,
out.
but
or
you're like
whatever.
a hack. You're the hackers that teach the FBI.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Well, I tell him, I go, yeah, this is how you would do it and whatnot. He looks at me, he goes, oh, we'd catch you. You better not do that. We'll catch you. And I'm like, I'm not doing it. And he's like, you better not.
Oh,
And I'm
I hate those fools.
I go, buddy, I'm not the guy. I'm telling you that this is an option that people could go down. And he's like, if you steal something, I will know.
Yeah.
And I was just
I
like,
actually
See,
love that guy.
if-
so
All
if-
much.
right.
Yeah, but if I'm you, all that does to me is be like, yeah, I fucking bet. Let's
Oh,
see,
dude,
and then I'm gonna turn it on, and then I rip
I
off
may have
T-Mobile
found
for
a
it.
couple extra pair of Beats headphones.
Oh, yeah, you're going small.
Those loss prevention guys kill me,
Yeah, dude,
man.
it's
They
great.
used to at the JCPenney I worked at kind of a hood ass mall, and they would run after people, dog, and tackle them. They'd be like, he's getting away from he's close to the exit. And they would run, dog, and then just go. Oh,
They have like
Yeah.
plays they draw up like
Yeah.
like football. They're like, you're gonna come around the stuff we put by the register, the candy, so that you can get the
Well,
the
now
old
it's all no
crackers.
pursuit. They won't pursue.
Oh, yeah, now you can-
It's wild.
It's up to $900.
Yeah,
I
it's
love
pretty
that shit,
insane.
dude. That shit rules so
Back
hard.
in the day when those fools did not fuck around at that JCPenney, dog,
Yeah.
they would get there, they would call the cops, they would barricade those fools at the exit. Like it'd be four of those fools.
Yeah.
going, like, come on.
like a defensive
Yeah.
line.
yeah, like a defensive line.
No,
the
I
base.
steal small stuff here and there, but it's like something like this. I stole this.
That should be stolen.
That this is like, but I was at the place, the Whole Foods, and I went and I bought something else, and then I was like, this shit's overpriced.
I steal from Whole Foods all the time. 2 slices of pizza in the box when it's only one. That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But you got to weigh it, don't you? Or you just scan it?
No, you just scan it. Sometimes I'll weigh a thing and I'll hold it a little bit.
Of course.
while I'm weighing it.
You're preaching the choir, dude.
That's
That's great. I didn't know about that.
But dude, that's why they have self-checkout. I was reading an article about Home Depot, which that's very funny. I was getting my Home Depot ready.
For sure.
But
Read a
they
study
they
about
have so
Home
much
Depot.
self-checkout because they're accounting for people stealing. Because they're like,
Wow.
we can
Oh, yeah.
we can make up the money of having to pay somebody to be at a register with like that versus the loss prevention, like the stealing, whatever. That balances out to being more
Absolutely.
like in our favor.
Yeah.
It's like they're fucking doing like roulette odds.
I'm stealing on behalf of the working class people. You
Yeah,
know
you're
what I
like
mean? That's
Robin
what I'm
Hood, where
doing.
you steal from the rich and give it to yourself.
Myself, who happens to be the poor. Coincidentally.
Hey, before we get off the rails, we have to do some sort of like traditional. People would be pissed if I didn't ask you about this fool. And
Are you allowed
going
to?
on.
What's the? This is an official.
Yeah, that's such a good point.
This is an
that's
official
a pretty
thing.
good point. I'm actually oddly not supposed to talk about it on podcasts. Yeah, it's weird. So there's a writer's strike and an actor's strike. And what's funny is that the writers, when they were just striking, they were like, yeah, promote your shit. We don't care. But when the actors struck, the nanny was not fucking around. Fran Drescher.
Yeah.
So they made these rules where you can't promote the shit that you're like.
Yeah.
You can't promote your projects.
Yeah.
And people were like, even the ones that were like before the strike, they're like, yeah, you can't promote it. You
Well,
can't
let's
talk
sidestep
about
You
it.
can't even talk about
Yeah.
like Full House.
If you want to ask me about my time on this fool, I'm all right with that.
Dude, Fran Drescher, she's gonna bust in.
How did you get into character for Random Guy? How did you appear so random?
I like to tell people that random is just a part of who I am.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, I always, it was funny, after I did that, I would always hit up Chris and be like, you got to tell those guys the show needs more random. I think we could do a little more random in season 3 if you catch my
Well,
drift.
let me ask you about this. So, tell me a little about like.
What am I, fucking chopped liver over here? No questions for the old ram dog? No questions about
down.
Palestine?
All right.
I'm a big Random Guy.
Yeah.
So, we're all doing mics forever around
Yeah.
here, and then you get the show.
Mm-hmm.
Like, tell me a little bit about like what's changed. Like, I mean, are people? Have you changed?
Do you get mad ass respect at Tribal Cafe now?
I get mad. They don't even turn on the blender when I go on. When I go on the mic, they go, "Oh no, this will have the TV show."
Yeah, like, take it easy. Dude.
Yeah, take
you
it
walk
easy.
into Flappers and they just
Yeah.
immediately stop shaking the drink. They're
Yeah. The homie who hosts it is like, "Oh, all right, we'll put you up second to last."
Yeah.
Yeah. You'll headline.
Yeah. I win the pizza at the end of the night.
Josh Schneider
Yeah,
is like,
Josh-
wow, thank you very much.
Thanks for
Appreciate
coming
it.
out.
He's been practicing his handshake for a
Yeah,
week.
I get a lot of random I call them Ernies. Like fat Hispanic fools.
Yeah.
I call every fat Hispanic fool I know with a fade an Ernie.
Yeah.
Those fools send me ideas all the time.
Really? Yeah. For the show?
Yeah.
That's
hey, fool, you
so
should
funny.
and it's like, that's not how it works, dude. This is a bad idea.
It'd be so funny if you got a sick ass idea.
Yeah.
You're like, oh damn, I might.
Every now and then there's fools like, dog, you have to do a Christmas episode. Like, there's one guy,
A dude with
I'm not
like
lying to you, dog.
13 tatted on his face
Yeah.
across. He's like, I would love to see a holiday episode.
Dude, there's this one fool. He's like kind of a cholo dude. Every time he sends me repeatedly a message that says, "Dog, do a Christmas episode." I'm like, it's not that kind of show, dog.
Dude, I want to see some tamales, you know?
Yeah, dude. That's so fucking funny.
Oh,
I've
dude.
never been out with Chris, and it's so funny, almost like clockwork. Anytime we're out somewhere and somebody is loading something into something at their job, they always stop. I go, this guy's going to stop loading this to tell Chris he loves the show. And like a clockwork, it's always a guy with like fucking a wrench and being like, oh shit. It's always holding something massively blue collar.
It's like the beginning of a SVU episode.
Yeah.
I like hang out at museums, hoping I'd be noticed. Nobody gives me
Nobody gives one fuck.
but it's like-
Other than the guy who's cleaning the
Yeah,
thing.
it's really- hey, bro, you're that.
Yeah, I remember I think it might have been either right before, I think it was right whenever the first season had come out and we were at the Improv and we were hanging, and I was just talking to you about like people coming up to you and stuff, and you were like, yeah, because this girl had come up to you and she had like like some like cool chick with like a punk band T-shirt and like dangly earrings and like straight
remember
back, and
that.
I was like that's actually funny. I was like that's like the perfect like,
Yeah.
and you were like, you were like, yeah, it's honestly her and like down ass fools.
Yeah,
and then like
really.
literally as soon as she walked away, this big ass dude in like a fucking Shaka t-shirt came
Yeah.
up and was like, "Hey homie, like you're really representing for the culture." Like,
Yeah, we
it's
get a
like
lot of- yeah.
the mix of the two is so
Mix of the
fucking
two,
funny.
Yeah, it's really that.
Dude,
Hell
it's probably
yeah.
your girl sending somebody over just trying to bait you.
Yeah, I
Go
know.
over there. She's
Yeah.
got dangly earrings and a punk band.
Seems
I
like
told her.
down ass fools and chicks who roller skate to work.
Yeah.
It seems like you are really down for that shit. That, and then you were saying that you were at like this swap meet and like some hardcore looking ass dude was just like staring at you.
Yeah.
He's like, "I know you," and you're like,
Yeah. Yeah, one time I was at the swap meet, I was like, I better get out of here. One of these fools will rob me.
One time we were someplace and some guy, there was like a lowrider. We just happened to be walking by and there was like a lowrider meetup and there was so many guys that were like, "Hey, will you sit in my car?"
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Chris had to just like sit in people's cars and take pictures.
It's like that scene from Selena where they try to tow the car out and they're
Yeah.
like, "This bumper was ripped off by the bus of the Selena."
That's right. I remember that.
That shit was so
We
funny.
were at a random burger place
It
in
was just
Lincoln Heights.
and it just
and they had a
happened to
lowrider
happen,
show.
and we were like,
Yeah.
"Oh, this is for sure gonna happen."
That's
Hey, fool, come sit in my car.
I remember that.
That's
Yeah.
so funny. And now you like see a lowrider like meet like a car meet with like a bunch of Hondas pointed at each
Yeah.
other. Like, "Hey, we got it. Let's go. Let's walk around the other way."
Back to the thing we were talking about the other night where I kept shoehorning my role in this fool. We were at House of Pies and some guy was like, "Oh my God, I'm a huge fan of Chris." And he takes a picture and I go, "Hey, I was in season 2." And he goes, "Really?" And he kind of thinks and he goes, "Can I get a picture with you?" And then I just sat there and I just like took a great picture with this guy. I was
People really forced them.
Like, say random guy, random guy.
the guy literally, but he felt uncomfortable. Like he was
Yeah.
like, "All right, I guess I'll have one with you too, I
Yeah,
suppose."
That's so fucking
So that was so funny. Him and his friends were like just standing awkwardly next to you, and you were like,
I was really leaning into the photo like this, and they're just like, "Nah."
They leave and they're like not excited anymore.
you like heard the trash sound like the on the phone.
They had it
You heard.
You're like, what, can I make sure that you? You're gonna post a slide, so it's gonna be both, right?
Yeah.
You're like a bass player.
At the Comedy Store. If they catch you taking a picture of somebody, they make you delete it. I did the opposite. Where I'm like, "Can I see that you're going to post that right now? Let me just see you
Tag
post
me.
it."
Make sure you tag me.
Dude, that's what I miss the most about working at the Comedy Store. Is just
I saw
fucking-
someone do that. Like I saw
busted
this guy
adults.
come when a door guy will go up to someone. You have to delete that from your phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You hit them hard. If you hit them real hard, you go delete that, and then they go okay, and then you go and now go into recently deleted and
Recently
delete that
deleted.
too.
Damn,
I'll hit them
you've done
hard.
that?
Yeah,
Oh,
and then
yeah.
sometimes, dude, people and they'll be like, look, and I'll be like, no, it's fine. I was like, just go, and they're like, recently deleted. I'm like, go to the photos, go to the album, swipe all the way to the bottom, hit recently deleted, and then go in there and delete that too. Just
Dude,
to-
he goes on there and sees a bunch of other shit
You're
that's not
gonna-
supposed to be there. He's like, "Bro, you just saved my life."
Yeah.
That's what I've seen dudes like older like
Oh yeah.
inconspicuous
Oh,
older
yeah.
Older
dudes like I've seen it I've seen somebody's nudes, but I've also seen like just pictures of like in the recently deleted of older dudes that are just like in the mirror like flexing one arm and they're like not buff or anything,
Yeah.
but they're just like you could tell they're just trying to get
my
laid. And it's like
God.
if it's in recently deleted, that means that you're not.
Yeah, you're doing something.
Something's going on.
The amount of old people that would come into the Apple store and be like, "I have no idea what's going on with this thing, but this is some bullshit." And you open it up, and it's like, barely legal,
Yeah.
VPN, like it's.
They have a VPN, like they know so much that.
Dude, I have seen some of the weirdest shit. I saw one guy's virus that literally changed all the icons into tits. And it was a virus that they downloaded something and like everything was fucked. And the guy was infuriated and was assuming that it was the product's fault. And I'm like, no, you went to a website.
You told him
clicked-
that?
Yeah,
Can
I said that you can't just. It won't just put something on there. I go,
Dude.
you downloaded something.
I miss rascal like viruses like that, like where it's just
Yeah.
like the whole thing was to fucking prank you.
Yeah.
I got a talking to one time. So remember when it was most like this was before laptops were a big thing, when it was just like desktop computers.
home computer.
Dog, at least 4 times a year, I would take it to get repaired because I fucked it up because I looked at like
Yeah.
too
Oh,
much
yeah.
porn and a virus. I remember one time the guy, and I always took it to the same place. That one guy's like, "Dude, you just got to stick to one website." And then he even told me I was like, "Oh, I don't know what you're talking about."
He
man."
writes down a website for you.
Yeah, that fool was just like, he was like, "Dude, I think he said like YouPorn has the less problems. Like,
That's customer service.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
real. That's real.
How old were you? Were you like a teenager?
dog, I was like 17 or 18, and then I remember I just said, "Hey man, thanks."
While you're holding like the keyboard, he's like, "You don't need to bring the keyboard."
Dude, in like 2001, I was looking for porn on my dad's computer, and it was like, you download this thing and it'll die. It fucking dialed to like South Africa.
Yeah.
And I got this bill for like $240 that my dad like bought me lunch, and then he slides the phone bill over, and he's like, we looked at everything and you were the only one in the house. And I'm like, I'll pay it right. I'll pay it. I'm so sorry, Dad.
Did
I'm
it
so
say what the
sorry.
bill was for?
Yeah. Oh,
It
yeah.
said like big tits and ass.com.
I can't remember exactly what it
South
was.
African
but it was,
titties.org.
Yeah.
But it was, the number was a South African.
It was Ebony Queens.
Dude, hey, how do you know, bro?
Dude, I remember, like, because I never fucked with that shit when it was on, like, dial-up. My dad said...
Well, dude, you were like 1 year old.
I wasn't 1 year old, dude. I'm only 22 now. No, I'm kidding.
Bet. We're all
No,
22.
I was, like, probably, like, 10, and I think I didn't even know what porn was. But my dad had said one time that he literally, like, when internet porn had first came out, when it was still like dial up AOL and shit, that he went on, he was like, I want to see what this fucking porn stuff's basically like. And my dad's a fucking, he's a cool dude, but he's also dumb like that. So he literally is, he was like, I want to see what this porn stuff's all about, like this internet porn. And so he said that it was on dial up, and then he searched it, and then it literally started doing like all this crazy shit and like froze. So he had to like get underneath and like unplug everything. So he was like, what the fuck's going on? I remember
They're
was,
hacking
like,
the system.
Dude, there was like a 2-week period where my dad was into chat rooms on AOL because he was just like, because it was so mind blowing to him that he could just be like talking. And I remember
chat rooms too, dog.
Oh,
like,
chat rooms were popping,
Yeah.
dude.
So your dad was in the chats. That's
But he
so
was on.
funny.
The AOL chat rooms were awesome, dude.
Dog.
It's probably just me and a bunch of pedophiles.
My
but, like,
favorite AOL chat room was it was under miscellaneous. It was Mexicans versus Puerto Ricans, and I would go on there and talk shit to Puerto Rican fools and be like, "Fuck you, dog! Come to LA and talk to us like that, homie." Like,
Eat your
They just
papaya,
people banging
bitch.
on each other.
fool, it was all just like
That's so
13-year-old
fucking funny.
boys.
it was
pretending to be
all.
20.
It was
Yeah.
just called Mexicans versus Puerto Ricans, and it was full, like talking shit to each other. Oh shit! All right, come out. Oh, you fools have waxed out. No, y'all have waxed out. Like, come out here. See what you
That's
know.
other people are like trying to like talk to chicks and stuff, and you're like, "Oh, dude, I can't wait to get over from school so I can bang on Puerto Ricans that live
Yeah.
in New York."
Tell those fools that bodegas suck.
Yeah. Hey, dog, it's all about liquor stores, homie.
Yeah, dog,
And
bodegas are for
carnicerias.
losers.
Yeah. That's so fucking fun. That's like almost like a revolutionary point in the internet where it's like there is porn, there is this, and then it's like when fools realize they can bang on each other coast to coast.
Dude,
You know?
Mexicans versus Puerto Ricans. It was so popular, dog. There was Mexicans versus Puerto Ricans too.
Yeah.
Like the chat.
They had the seven.
Oh, because there was too
much
many
bandwidth.
There's
people.
too many fools
Yeah.
going on there.
Too much
dog.
bandwidth. Was
Imagine you're on like the wait list to get in. You're in like the holding room, and you're just walking around behind your computer chair, like getting pumped up. You're like, I can't wait to bang on.
I said, damn, I'm gonna talk shit to these fools, these fat Joe motherfuckers.
Do you think that was there any kind of rule that did you have to say whether you were Mexican or Puerto Rican before entering? Because is it supposed to be 50-50 or is it just like free range, like get in there? And
There would be
fucking-
people having like legit discussions or whatever.
The GDP.
But then
we
there was a
should,
lot
like,
of fools talking shit.
We should
Yeah.
unite. Yeah,
Yeah.
we should unite as
It's about, like,
Spanish-speaking
yeah.
people.
tamales versus like
Yeah.
like there's people actually like exchanging recipes
Yeah,
and shit, and then other
and be
dudes
like,
come
nah,
in.
fuck y'all, man.
Yeah. If I saw you on the subway, I'd knock your ass
Yeah,
out. Like,
no.
oh, if I saw you getting off the bus, I would knock your ass out.
Dude, I hate to fucking be such an old guy, but the internet used to rule so hard.
Oh, chat rooms were great.
Chat rooms were great. Fucking when we were like post high speed internet, pre digital ethics, that was the best 3 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
With like AIM and shit, or like
aim, dude, bum fights, like
Yeah.
all like bum fights. What people don't understand about bum fights was it was a program where a guy made people fight for sandwiches, homeless people,
yes.
So
and the
sad.
news was like laughing about it.
Yes.
Remember the news would be like, all right, and coming up next, like we got a wacky story for you guys.
yeah, it
This
was.
guy's making a homeless people fight for sandwiches.
You know what's so funny? Do you remember that clip? I think it was the fool that started bum fight. He went on Dr.
Oh
Phil.
yeah,
And then was dressed like Dr.
And he shaved
Phil.
his head in a horseshoe.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Yes,
dude.
dog. Have you ever seen that?
No.
Because
Dog.
Dr. Phil's basically being like, you know, you
exploiting
you
people.
shouldn't make homeless people fight for sandwiches. Like he's like talking, and he's like trying to like level with them, and he's like, dude, I don't give a fuck.
He was
Yes.
he shaved his head.
He's so funny. Look,
like the monk, like the
Look,
thing.
now-
He
and like
wore a suit,
like a
and
tan
everything.
suit, like Dr. Phil wears. Like,
Dog.
dude, it's so fucking
He
funny.
trolled that fool so hard.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. That's the best way to deal with that shit.
But also,
too.
I mean, the internet, whatever that period is, kind of in between, like with like in between AOL and chat roulette, where it's like it's still like the chat room. It's still like
MySpace.
That was back in the day when you could
MySpace
get
even,
like
'cause that shit-
MP3s. In
Yeah,
on
like
chat rooms.
LimeWire and shit. Yeah.
LimeWire and all
Dude,
that.
I mean,
I wanted to
MySpace
download-
changed everything for sure.
I wanted to download Michael Jackson's Thriller music video when I was in college. And so I literally put up Napster, and it took 2.5 days.
Oh yeah, you had to like
to
come back and
download
check
it.
in.
Yeah, and
I
I'd be like,
remember
shit, my screen keeps
the
timing
fucking
out.
paper. Like they used to have the symbol of like it was like a paper moving stacks. Do you remember that? Like, symbol for like things are being downloaded.
My roommate Rick he would get so pissed. He's like, dude, the internet is so slow, and I'm like, sorry, man, I'm downloading Michael Jackson's whole album right
Remember
now.
when, remember when internet cafes were a big thing?
I used to go to
Yeah.
internet cafes all the fucking time, play Counter Strike with a bunch of
Yeah,
Really?
My cousin used to do that.
Internet cafes were huge.
Yeah.
dude.
My cousin
in
did
LA, all the internet cafes were like Middle Eastern foods, smoking hookah, and then playing live.
They're still
then
big in
it
South
kind of
Korea.
turned into like gambling and shit,
Yeah.
didn't it? Because there was a story on the news. There's a video. It's so funny. It's like it was somewhere in LA, but it was like a bunch of like Asian dudes like coming out. Like this internet cafe got busted because it was like a gambling thing. So it's like, of course, like where like that. And so all these dudes are coming out and they're like, "What's going on in there?" And they're like, "I don't know. Just coffee and internet." Like they're like all coming out and they're like asking him on the news. They're like, "So what's in there? You guys are gambling?" He's like, "Oh, I have no idea what you're talking about." There's like dudes with like wraparound sunglasses that are obviously like high on drugs for like days at a time, gambling
Dude,
inside the thing.
Garden Grove. I grew up in Orange County. Garden Grove had a lot of, it's a predominantly Vietnamese community, and there's a lot of gambling rings in internet cafes. They would also do things where it was like semi strip club / cafe.
interesting.
So like you'd be on the computer, and a chick would come up and take your order and then show you her pussy really quickly. There was a lot of
Just a
that
quick
stuff
flash?
going on. A quick flash. Like
Was that part of the order? Like at a sushi place where you click off the thing? Like, what do you want to see? Yeah, left, right, both, titty. Like,
Dude, there is a
Pay more.
drive-through coffee spot in Fresno.
Yeah.
There's
Oh, yeah.
multiple.
Yes, I know that.
Were
I
there
follow a girl
bikinis?
who works there.
Yeah, they all wear bikinis to work.
There's,
had
that's
this
like a
lingerie.
Seattle thing too. There's a ton of those in Seattle.
I had this
Wild.
idea to do an El Pollo Loco where people did that.
That's not a bad idea.
Just
but
the cooks are all got little burn spots.
Massive burns all over themselves.
just like a chubby dude who's just like mad about it.
yeah.
Hey, bro, what do you want?
Yeah, he just has like a loincloth.
Yeah, I look like shit, but I got benefits.
Yeah.
That fool was like, all right, dog, I'll get your BRT ready.
So you know what happened to me at in Seattle? I think Seattle's like the home of like the bikini coffee thing.
Yeah.
So I was there and I was on my way to do a show and I literally was like in a rush and just needed a coffee, like wanted to get a coffee like a normal thing. And the only place nearby was a place like that. So I had to like begrudgingly go to like the bikini coffee spot and be like, I'm truly just here for the I need a coffee.
And what size do you want?
I'm-
Double D or just the
Yeah.
smallest
And she's like,
fry?
and you want any milk? And I'm like, no, I'm in a relationship. And he's like, squeezing
just regular
You want
milk.
oat milk? You're like, I don't quite know what that means, but I don't think I do. I think I just black is black. And you're like, I just literally just want coffee.
Tisha.
They call the black.
Yeah, they just won't stop. Yeah, they won't stop. It's just like,
Now hiring lactating mothers.
I hate all places like that have like a thing. There's also a biscuit place up there called the Biscuit Bitch in Seattle, and you gotta
are
be
they mean to you?
You gotta be mean to them.
Oh, that's weird. That's
It's like, and it's I'm like, can I just have this thing? And they're like, you got to call her a bitch or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, God,
There was
I
this-
hate
That's,
like
what's that called? Guy's Paradise?
Yeah.
It's like you go in there.
Just give me my fucking biscuit.
Yeah,
Move on
dude,
with
seriously.
your fucking-
There was a
Yeah.
place in Epcot Center in Florida, and when I was in high school, when I went there, they had it was a restaurant. It was like a 60s style restaurant where the
Well,
waiters,
you're allowed to be racist.
no,
You
but
gonna
all
be
the
saying
waiters.
the blacks or the white section?
It was as if you were in your relative's home, and like the waitress is like your aunt, and your uncle comes by and talks shit, and they fight, and they like she's serving you,
I hate this.
I hate
so
this.
much.
She whacks him with the paper.
Yeah, but it was like there was a lot of this, like, "Hey, now Arnold, don't do that in front of our guests." Like it was very, yeah, it was like ridiculous. But I also really enjoyed it. Like when I was a kid, I thought it was so funny.
I do like campy shit. Like that's campier than like where you got to call them a bitch. You
I
have
want
to
to call them a bitch.
Or if
yeah, I'm
the
okay.
smoothie is called the "I'm beautiful" or like
Yeah,
shit. Like I'm like, get fucked. But the funniest thing, because there's that place in Chicago, that hot dog place, Wiener Circle.
Yeah.
That's like a famous place.
would
That's
like
like
that place,
but
too.
after a certain time of night, the whole thing is that they're like mean to you, and it's like. These like big black chicks who are pretty good at being mean to you. Like there's very funny videos of them roasting people. But Christian Piper, comedian, was telling us this story one time, and he's a big dude.
Yeah, he's a big
and there was telling us
Look
this
at Christian
story.
Piper on a dry bar.
Christian Piper dry bar. I forget what his thing is called. But he's at the place and he goes up there and I don't even think he realized exactly what was going on. I think they were just trying to get food. And he goes up there and it's like this big black woman behind the counter. And he goes up there. He's like, "Oh, I just wanted to get one this dog." And he said that the lady stopped and then like looked up at him and like really loud just goes, "You want one hot dog? You fat motherfucker!" And then just like starts going. It's just like, "Look at me, motherfucker! I get at least two. You gonna get one? Look at your fat ass!" And he's just like, And he said he like panicked. He's like, "Okay, I'll get two." And then he said that he literally was like, "Oh, thank God I got two. I would have been happy with one." Where it's like she is
Great
providing
advice.
good service by like
so funny.
during the day she'd be like, "Oh, maybe we get two. I get two. They're not super big." But then at night he's like, "You fat son of a bitch!" Like it's just roasting the shit
funny.
out of him.
I love the increased sales. I like the manager liking that too, because that's like she's got racking up sales.
Oh, yeah, she's
using that one.
upselling
She's
them.
upselling
Yeah,
the fuck out of people by calling
That's
them
so
fat
funny.
pieces of shit.
There's got to be every now and then at like one of those places like the Dick's place where they like they're like, "Oh, you're a whore" or whatever. They like we look at you.
They do
you're-
that at Dick's?
The Dick, not Dick's Sporting Goods.
That's why they call it Dick's.
In Seattle, there's a...
Oh no, you're thinking of the burgers.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about
Everybody's a dick at Dick's Sporting
You're
Goods.
like trying to buy a bowling ball. They're like, "You fucking queer."
Not even a fucking sport.
bowling. No,
You buy like a baseball glove, they'll be like, "Yeah, that'll be over in a week."
Well, yeah, we'll put softball for you, Nancy. No, there's like that. It's like a chain restaurant, like Dick's Last Resort, where it's like literally the whole. I don't know if they're the ones who invented it, but they're the ones who like fucking whatever. But side note, I do love Dick's Burgers in Seattle. That's my favorite
great.
late night food in the world. But at Dick's Last Resort, I imagine every now and then there's somebody who doesn't get it or doesn't know what they're getting into, and so they're like complaining to the manager, and then the manager comes out, it's like, "What's up, asshole?" Like, you're like, "What the fuck is it?" You like you just can't believe it the entire time. Or somebody they have to go too far every now and then.
Yeah,
like
of
it's my niece's birthday. And you're like, oh, sorry, we were under the impression your niece is actually a whore.
Yeah, I like the manager. I love the manager
try to
talking to the
reason.
employee.
Yeah,
Being
yeah.
like, "Listen, it was hilarious what you were doing, but saying I hope your niece gets gang banged by 18 black
Yeah,
guys
you're
is
just
a
like
weird thing to say."
getting a write up.
That was every write-up I got in working. Like, it would literally be, "Okay, I have to officially tell you you can't say that." But that was very funny. But it's not appropriate for the workspace.
Did you get written up a lot in your jobs?
I got written up. I got written up a decent amount, but my numbers were always good, and I was always like a leader or whatever.
Yeah.
So, but it would like I've talked about it before, but like we used to have these morning huddles at the Apple store, and dude, they're like, "Hey, we want you to give a little motivation thing at the beginning," and I was like, "Look, you guys are all awesome. You're all great people, but everybody has bad days, And so when you're not having a great day, you're not going to give your best." So do what you got to do to be the best version of yourself. There's no cookie cutter way to do this job or, to be a good person, have a good interaction.
Damn, I'm motivated
I
right
know.
now.
Well, you should be opening up this podcast with some of that.
But, hey,
But then you're like, "And Rhonda, show some cleavage." Doesn't Rhonda have big tits? Everybody, come on.
But what I said was, I was like, so do what you have to do the night before or in the morning to get ready. Drink your coffee, get your 8 hours, smoke some crack, whatever you got to do to
throw in
get
some humor at
yourself
that.
in
I
the
like
right
that.
spot. And
Little
everybody
humor.
laughed, and it was like great. And
Yeah.
then people come, "Dude, that was nice, man. Thanks." I go, "Hey, no problem." And then afterwards, they pulled me in the office, sat me down for like 20 minutes, and like talked to me about appropriate language for the workplace and all this shit. It was.
You
it
can't
was
say
good times.
smoke crack. Is that
You
the
can't say
issue?
smoke crack. Yeah, that was a problem.
Bullshit.
Yeah,
I
But
also got
it's
in
also like
trouble.
that's even different because it's like Apple, and it's like don't say smoke crack, and please don't mention our child
That's
slaves.
what I'm saying. It's like
Please don't mention the child
Well,
slaves.
dude,
Yeah.
that's what I said. And he's
It's
trying
like
to
you better make these child slaves'
Yeah.
life worth it by selling these phones.
I want us to work hard, not as hard as people jumping out of windows into nets, but let's work hard, right, guys?
Let's stay off the
I
second
mentioned
floor.
it when they were giving me the write up. I mentioned it, and the guy was like, "Oh, okay."
Not at that point.
Like, it was
It's not
that
at
kind of
point.
look where they laugh. They're like, "Oh,
It is ethically ambiguous where we're operating. That is very funny.
So
yeah, ridiculous." Well, I will say, as a kind of positive thing to end on and whatnot, I'd like you guys to talk about a little bit what like something you can plug, and then I want you to talk about somebody's stuff that you want to plug who's not you.
I want to plug a little film called Oppenheimer.
That's good
It was
stuff.
phenomenal. I was laughing. I was telling my girlfriend we went to go watch it together, and then I said, "How funny would it be if I really got into quantum physics right after this?" And it only lasted a week, and I bought a bunch of quantum physics books. And then she was like, "What happened to your fascination?" I go, "I don't want to talk about it."
Yeah.
Like,
If you buy the same Oppenheimer hat and you're constantly like just lifting it up enough.
That hat does rule.
Man, I
That
like
hat
that movie,
ruled.
but I'm so fucking stupid, dude. It's like I was watching it with Kevin, and literally like halfway through the movie, I leaned over and I had pointed to the Robert Downey Jr. character.
phenomenal.
I literally, it was the movie was great, but halfway through the movie, I leaned over and pointed at that guy. I go, "Who is that? Who is that guy?"
What was his
like-
historical?
yeah, I was like, "What the fuck is going?" Like I was.
I'm,
You got a
my
little
ans-
lost because it's a back and forth.
The back and forth
It kind of
drove me
switches
nuts.
timelines.
I'm so
my
fucking
answer was,
stupid.
I think he's like a government guy. He's
Yeah,
like,
he was a
he's
government
like one of the upper government
It's-
guys.
I'm literally sitting there. I'm in a recliner thing. I'm eating toffee that I
Yeah.
snuck in from the candy shop in the farmer's
Yeah.
market there, and I'm just like having a good time. I'm like, really like it, and I'm like having such a hard time. Because it's not labeled. It's not
Yeah.
like this time, that time, that I don't
No,
know. I
exactly.
loved it. I thought it was great. I just literally, I'm
get
so
that.
fucking stupid. I'm too stupid to understand that movie.
I like every time I go watch a movie with my girlfriend when we walk out the theater, I go, "Let me explain to you what that movie is."
It's like Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. You're
Yeah.
like, there's actually an underlying.
There's an
underlying.
This is
thing.
why I have a policy of I only see movies where they say the title of the movie somewhere in the movie.
That's fair.
Because that's a movie that you're never going to get lost on at any
Yeah.
point, you know?
They did. I mean, they did say Oppenheimer a lot.
Did they
That's-
say,
that's
but,
his
yeah,
name.
but you know what I mean.
I
want
also
them-
couldn't stop like every time that where he would realize that he's like opened up a can of worms that he can't put
Yeah.
back, and he's like changed the world forever for the negative. I just can't help myself. So like the first time where he's really having a thing, I like leaned over to Kevin, and it's like this crazy moment in the movie where it's like dead silent. I leaned over to Kevin, and I was like, "Yeah, it's probably how the first guy who ever did crowd work felt." It's just like, I literally just
like he goes, "You can talk to the audience."
No, what have I done? What have I done? I've done something I can't change.
It just says, it scrolls in front of him, it just says, "You two fucking," like all the things, all the things.
Yeah,
he could
popping
say.
up on the screen. He's like, where are you from? What do you do for a living? And he's just like,
That was just sitting
This looks
at-
like a
whatever
Craigslist.
comic that was, he's just sitting at home going, "I've become death, destroyer of worlds."
Destroyer of all rooms.
Yeah, that fool sees like clips like on TikTok, and he's like, "What did I do?"
yeah.
Dude, who are you checking out online right now? Who are you like? What kind of?
Oh my! I don't even know what I'm.
Who are some fools that aren't getting any recognition?
I'll
that you
jump in on
check
this one.
out?
Code Blue Cam on YouTube. It's a great, it's body cam footage that respects police authority.
Okay.
First of all, it's from
Oh, so it's not interrupting and be like, what the cop did wrong here.
Yes,
I do like that.
I do like that guy too. Audit the audit. That guy.
Screaming.
rules.
Oh, you know this guy's
Screaming
name.
into a headphone mic. It's just breaking up. Man, this fool's an idiot.
Yeah.
Audit the audit.
Audit the audit rules, dude. I love that guy.
Code Blue.
Code Blue Cam. Oh, I love Code Blue Cam, dude.
Is this, so you're talking body cams. Are these, is this just normal day-to-day police work, or is this like shootouts?
It's not quite shootouts, but it's like this. Like a video will be like, "This is what happens when you try to drive drunk on the way to work or whatever."
Yeah.
Like,
So it sounds like Blind Date, where they have like the things pop up where the guy's like,
it's not that funny, but yeah, that's like great. Let's talk about that after this and create
I used
our
to
own
watch
version of
like
that.
the pedophile hunters. We would like talk.
I had
but
to
then
stop watching
I
the
stopped
pedophile
watching
hunters.
it because
It's addictive.
the guys who are like hunting these fools
Yes.
are almost as hateable as the pedophiles.
They're as
Yeah.
hateable. It's actually the only thing that makes it watchable is that you go like, if one of you kills the other one, I'm okay with it,
Yeah.
regardless of
Yeah.
who kills who.
Did you guys watch Sound of Freedom?
What's the Sound of Freedom?
No, I didn't watch
It's
that.
I'm
a
surprised
it's,
you didn't get it.
it's a movie with Caviezel, the guy who played Jesus.
Yeah,
in The
that's right.
Passion. And it's all about this real life story of this FBI guy who rescued like 200 something kids
Yeah.
out of child sex slavery. It's really good. It's like there's this undertone in the zeitgeist that it's like red pilled or something. I don't understand it. I watched it. I have no idea how it got politicized.
I
But
think
isn't
it's
it made by
because-
like Ben Shapiro's people or
No,
something?
the problem with it is it's made by Mel Gibson. That's the only.
Oh, is
thing.
it?
Yeah. Well, he's a big part of it.
I thought it was kind of a Christian-based film because I think.
Well, the main character is a Christian.
Yeah, so I think the thing about it is I don't know. I just know the movie. I know of it. I didn't see it, but I think it's like it's this kind of weird time where it's like somehow like the right has adopted like we hate pedophiles
Yes.
and
Yeah.
and then you almost if you say I hate pedophiles, you have to go, yeah, but I'm not like a right
Yeah,
guy.
yeah.
It's
Dude,
so weird.
I'm not like
we
a
had
red-pilled guy.
It's a weird time.
It's a
we
weird
laughed
time,
really hard
yeah.
about it because me and Voki had gone to a NASCAR race.
Yeah.
I forget who else had come with us. We were talking about it. We're just talking about like how sick a lot of the random weird merch you're gonna see
Yeah.
there is. I was like, I guarantee there is anti-pedophile merch.
Yeah.
Of
Of
thing. And then we get there and there's a guy wearing a shirt that says like "Kill your local pedophile" thing, and it's like
Yeah.
it's so funny because it's like everybody's like, yeah, dude, pedophiles fucking.
Yeah, nobody
suck."
is saying that.
Yeah.
Like,
Like
there's-
the only people who are saying that is other pedophiles.
Yeah.
Right? It's just funny that it's it's a stance that these people have saying like I'm brave, I'm coming out and saying
Yeah.
this. I think everybody doesn't like.
But
that.
you can also, it's weird now more than ever that any side can like claim
Claim a thing.
Claim it
Yeah,
like something.
yeah,
Sometimes
yeah.
they're like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
that's ours. Oh,
That's
oh,
ours.
that's
Well,
it's
Sid's fucking
And most sides
neckbeard
do, yeah.
in his mom's basement is like, yeah, Trump is getting all the pedophiles, and then they're like, this movie about pedophiles is bad now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very odd.
But it's
Yeah,
also it's funny. It's almost like little kid shit where it's like if us four were like, oh, let's play Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and then I'm immediately like, I'm Michelangelo. I get to be Michelangelo. You know, like I'm him. Like
Yeah.
it's like you're
That's
like
true.
playing pretend. You're like I'm the head.
Is that who you would pick, Michelangelo?
I don't know enough about Ninja Turtles. To know.
Donatello, personally.
I was gonna say, I'm a
You're a
Donatello
Donatello
guy.
guy?
Yeah. He
Fucking love
does
Donatello.
machines.
Yeah, dude.
I'd be
Wait,
the babe. I'd be
babe?
like, boys.
April?
Yeah.
April?
Hey,
Yeah.
boys.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd be
Jesus,
like a-
dude, I watched the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles with Megan Fox in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this will be fun for the family. I'm sitting there like fucking drooling every time. I was like, what is wrong with me? It was too much.
Is she still
too
hot?
much.
She was never my thing, personally.
Well, in that version,
Yeah.
yeah, she was gorgeous. Like it's ridiculous. I hate my inner man in those
I
moments.
just like funny you're sitting in between your kids with a raging heart on.
you're like trying, like punching yourself in the dick in the side
I'm
of the
like,
movie.
I got
theater.
me a bow staff
Yeah.
too.
I was
You're,
not-
you're slamming it in the door of the. You're like, stop!
I was never into Megan Fox. I remember being in because like when Transformers came out, I think I was in like high school. I'm a young guy, so but I remember like everybody being like, she's the hottest thing ever. And I remember faking that I thought she was hot so people wouldn't think I was gay. I remember
Yeah,
being like,
you-
so hot.
Dude,
They
that's
weren't ready
how I
for
am
the
with-
conversation and be like, I don't know, it's not quite what I'm
It's
into.
not
They'd be
what
like,
I-
Ramsey's gay. Ramsey's gay.
It's fucking weird because I can watch movies like I can watch Megan Fox and Transformers when she is the age that I was when she came out.
Yeah.
And even now I'll look back and be like, dang, she's hot. But now when I see like 18-year-olds, for some reason, the youngness, I don't know. It's like, I guess I'm low T or whatever,
Yeah.
like, but it doesn't
Well,
do
it's also now probably
do it
because
for
your
me as
kids are,
much.
I mean, not that old yet, but it's like they're closer to that
Dude,
age.
my kids are in puberty, man.
But I'm
They're-
saying it's like
close.
you're not like it's too close to that age.
Yeah.
No.
It does something. And thank God, because that would not be good.
Yeah.
If you were like, oh fuck.
Oh, I like them barely legal.
You know what I-
I want to see a calendar, a birth certificate, and a clock in the background.
I just remembered right now when you were talking about being at the movies is whenever we went and saw Oppenheimer after the movie, Kevin was in the bathroom taking a shit, and we go in there, or maybe it was before the movie because we
It
go,
was.
and it was the bathroom. I walked in there after him, and the bathroom was I thought was completely empty, and then except for Kevin. So I go over there and I start banging on the stall door. I'm like, yo man, what's going on in there, man? Like that, and then like I'm banging on it, and then like there's another. I didn't realize there was a guy. It was the right stall. But there was a different guy who was like, what? And I was like, oh shit. And I literally ran out of
dude,
I
that-
ran out of there and I ran upstairs.
I love when shit like that happens. It kills me.
I got so scared.
Dude, when you left, it was like there was probably like 20 seconds of silence, and then that guy started watching like a telenovela because it was the dramatic music, long pauses, and then like crying and shit. But it was on full blast in the bathroom, just getting after it. So I started responding to stuff.
You're talking to him?
No, I would just like I would laugh, or
You're
whatever.
like,
and just thinking like, oh, he's gonna know that I can hear it. He didn't give a fuck though. He's
That's
taking
so
a shit.
yeah.
Well,
It scared me.
We got to wrap it up. Ramsey, what do you got to plug? What's going down?
Please check out my podcast, Lying Flat. It's available everywhere where podcasts are available, but check out the YouTube channel. That's
Everywhere?
where I'd like you to watch
What's
it.
lying? What's
Is
it
on
about?
Rumble?
Lying Flat is a celebration of the futility of life.
Fuck yeah.
Really?
Hell yeah, dude. Let's go fucking metal. Put your arms up at that fucking decline
Black
of, the
pill, bro.
of the roller coaster of the American Empire, baby.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. And I know you can't plug it, but I just
Yeah.
I just want to say fucking
You can plug it.
Great job. This fool's amazing.
Yeah, thanks, man.
I particularly like because I grew up in a gang riddled area and like a lot of my friends and whatnot.
like
My
how he
buddy
said
Romero,
riddled.
he would always say riddled.
I don't
can
like
say
the way you
riddled.
said riddled.
So
It
you can
was-
get jumped in or
At least you didn't say
humped in.
infested. Yeah, jumped in or humped in.
Yeah, you can get jumped in or humped in. But I love that you've highlighted it's a comedy, but these people are real.
Oh,
like to
thanks,
see
man.
people that are actually like real human beings. Because I mean, that type of person is usually has one gear on TV. And it's like, oh, they're in a gang. They're super hard. They'll fucking kill you. It's like, no, everybody is a real person. Nobody has one gear, and you did a great job with that. And also, you're a good actor. Like, who knew that shit?
All right.
Like, what happened? How
Yeah.
did that happen? Did
Classes, my boy.
You took some classes?
Had to.
Dude, I can tell.
Yeah.
It fucking
They
pays
saw
off.
my first acting, and then they were like, no, you're taking classes.
Well, who would you want to plug since you can't plug your own show?
Your acting teacher.
Yeah, my acting teacher, John Rosenfeld. Go to look up Google John Rosenfeld
Mexican guy?
Studios. Yeah, Mexican guy. Oh yeah, watch Ramsey Badawi's Don't Tell.
Oh, shit. Oh, that's so fucking cool of you.
One of the funniest.
Ramsey
clips
Badawi's
of-
Don't
yeah.
Tell special.
dude.
Fuck yeah.
Dude,
on
I love it.
YouTube.
I
Yeah.
commented on it, dude. I'm
Yeah,
sharing.
I can't plug it because there's a stand-up strike as well right now. So I'm not plugging
Dude,
myself, but thanks, I appreciate
I
that,
love
man.
how the stand-ups tried to jump on that shit. Did you see the article that came out?
Was
Like,
there-
we're part of the strike too.
Yeah, dude. So I'm not plugging it around. But thanks, man. I appreciate it. That's really
You
cool
got
of you.
it.
Thanks,
Of course.
buddy. It
They
was
just
really-
came to me.
You're a
It was
good
really
guy,
good.
Chris.
Over 100,000
Came to
views.
me.
Well, Bruce Gray's blowing up on Reddit. Go check out,
Yeah.
go subscribe to everybody on Instagram and all that stuff. I'm Kevin Tienken. Anything else before we close it out?
No, thanks, dudes. This
Yeah,
is fun.
thanks for having
Thanks
me.
for
having us.
coming on. I love you both. It's cool to see you guys do cool shit.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you.
See you at Tribal Cafe.
You got
Assalamu
it.
alaikum.
Inshallah.